Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Exciting one, this one. Sneak peek, possibly even a YouTube first. Exclusive first look, first sniff, first impressions of a brand new, sort of unreleased fragrance from Hugo Boss Bottled Beyond. So if you're at all interested in what my thoughts are, then stick around. Yeah, welcome back to the channel, guys. Thanks for clicking on view. If an unbiased opinion from an average lad is what you're after, then you've come to the right place.
I think I belong here.
So, the bottled line, those of you in the know who know that I'm a big fan of the line. Massive fan of the line, in fact, especially over the last few years. They've just really been hitting banger after banger after banger. Is this going to be a banger? Or is it going to be a clanger? Well, I already know. I intended to do an unboxing and first impressions for you guys and then go away, wear it for a few hours, come back and give you my thoughts. But unfortunately, I've had to go back to my old way of recording audio, which is via a mic, onto a laptop, via Audible. Was it Audible? No, Audacity. It wasn't great. I was getting feedback, I was getting little clicks and whistles, and it just, yeah. And that's why we don't have the recording that I had earlier. Even after putting it through an audio filter, it just wasn't. I wasn't going to put it out. I wasn't going to subject you guys' ears to it, because, yeah, if it cheesed me off, then it would cheese you off also. So, unfortunately, we don't have that. But what we do have is the added bonus of me having worn it all day. So, shall we replicate what my first impressions of it was on first spray? Let's pretend that this is fresh out of the box. Speaking of boxes, this is how the box looks. Relevant information on the back. Same image on both sides. Got Boss Bottled Beyond on the front there. More relevant information on the bottom. And it's a eau de parfum concentration. And here is the bottle. I really like it. For once, we're greeted with a slightly weightier cap. It is plastic inlay, but I think it might even be real metal on the outside. And it's got like a little leather belt with a crested emblem on the front there. Standard atomizer, really. So, this is how it went. I've already got the dry down all over me. Now, you will get the perfumer's alcohol a little bit sharp, you know, for a few minutes until it sort of opens up, settles in. And that's where we're at now. It smells great, guys. It really, really does. When you first spray it on, it smells fantastic.
Oh, what is that heavenly smell?
Fresh, spicy, little bit sweet, actually. Yeah, fresh, spicy and sweet, a little aromatic. Really, really mass appealing. Really, really crowd pleasing. Really, really nice. Before I dive into telling you how I've interpreted the life of the wear, what I pick up, what maybe I don't pick up, and how I rate it, I'll just go over what Hugo Boss has decided to tell us about the fragrance in its listed notes and the main accords. So the main accords are leather, fresh, spicy, animalic, woody, fresh, and smoky. And not unlike a lot of fragrances that are released nowadays, they've been a bit tight-lipped about the notes and have blessed us with another 3-note breakdown. And those 3 notes are ginger in the top, leather in the mid, and woody notes in the base. Now then, there's a lot more going on than that. as you would imagine. And if you're at all familiar with the original Hugo Boss and Hugo Boss Intense, which I have here, you will be reminded of those fragrances. Now, they're not the same. It's not a rehash of the DNA or even a twist or bring on back a discontinued favorite like Boss Bottled Intense. But the similarities are in what's unlisted, I think. See, it says woody notes in the base. I think, let's dry down. I think it's maybe predominantly cedar, which you do find in Bottled Intense. I'm not so sure about the original. It's been a while since I've had it. It would be unfair of me to pretend that I could definitely remember exactly what's in it and, you know, exactly how it comes across. But if I remember correctly, it's just a less intense version of Intense. Back in the days where words meant things.
I meant what I said, you know.
I think there might be apple in this too, because it's very similar. It's got this similarity that I'm not sure if I'm putting my finger on it correctly, if it is exactly what I'm picking up. But whereas the original was known for being that apple cinnamon sort of smell, me personally, I think the Intense, yeah, it had that cinnamon, but the clove that was in there was a bit more noticeable, and I think that's what's in here. I think that's what reminded me of the profile of the Intense. The clove. I'm almost sure there's clove in this, and if there isn't, I'd be shocked. Brilliant smelling fragrance, really, really good. Opens up beautifully, transitions into a mid really well. You know, there's a little bit less of that freshness off the top, obviously, as you would expect, as the top notes dissipate, and you still get that sweetness, but that clove is really apparent, and maybe some cade oil or something like that, but not in a strong way. It's really smooth. The leather isn't as I would like it.
Vegan leather.
I must admit, it's not. I would have preferred it to be a bit more like the leather in Absolute. That was a bit richer, a bit deeper. Whereas in this, it's a smooth leather, and I'm fine with that. Absolutely, it probably suits the rest of the composition like a lot more than what stronger leather would. Stronger leather would probably dominate the fragrance.
No, don't leather it.
Which would suit me. But Hugo Boss ain't making fragrances just for me, are they? You know? So, you know, let's forgive them for that, I guess. Yes, there's similarities to the original and the Intense, which I'm fine with, but it's a little bit fresher up in the top there. It smells aromatic, but I don't know how or where it's coming from. It might be a little bit of clary sage or what, maybe rosemary or something like that for the first like 20 minutes, but it does smell aromatic. I like it a lot. I like how round it smells. What I don't like is not smelling it after 4 hours.
How come I don't smell anything?
That's what I don't like. And I'm not going to write it off. There's plenty of occasions in which I can wear it, you know. I'm not somebody that will completely, you know, downvote a fragrance to the point of where it gets a poor rating just because it doesn't last. Doesn't really radiate that much either, I'm afraid. I've reapplied this already today, so I've applied it twice in the space of 8 hours. No, 6 hours. The last time being about an hour and a half ago. I'm hoping that after some more wears, my experience of the performance is improved, and it was just, you know, maybe I wasn't feeling it today, maybe my nose was a bit worn out today. I was testing a few things this morning, who knows. You can't give an honest and true reflection of how a fragrance is after one day. You can't. You really can't. I'm getting this out here because it's a brand new release. People are excited to know what it smells like. People are excited about it. So I'm getting this out there, right? So my score here, it comes with a caveat that I will revisit this and give an impression, give a rating, give a review on what it's like to live with it, all right? Because I want it to be great. I want it to be great because I really, really enjoy how it smells. Fantastic. Performance, it's a letdown. It's a letdown because it's not logical. If it was like Dior and Cologne where it made complete sense, wouldn't even be mentioning it. But it's not logical. Now, if its performance suited its scent profile and was logical when measuring it alongside its composition, then this would get a 9.
Is it really that high?
But I'm taking 1.5 marks off, with the caveat that maybe a 7.5, which is what I'm giving it, a 7.5, would improve with time. I'm not going to discuss its projection, its longevity, its sillage. I don't know. And anybody that says they do after one day of wearing it, they're lying here or to themselves. So I'll say 7.5, guys. And that's, you know, that's because I'm downvoting it. Scent alone, how it smells, it's a 9. But I am taking 1.5 marks off because I was disappointed with the performance. But on the whole, great smelling fragrance. Nice, slightly sweet, slightly aromatic, fresh, spicy. Got a little bit, I would say smooth, a smooth woody leather mid into, well, the mid is the dry down actually. You know, once it's transitioned into that mid, all the dry down is a slightly muted version of that mid. I'm hoping that my theory about designer brands pushing fragrances out too early and then improving in the bottle, I'm hoping that theory is true. And just like it did actually with Boss Bottled Bold Citrus, it did, honestly, hand on heart, it did improve. It is better than when I first got it. So hopefully that'll be the same crack here. And I'll be speaking to you in a few months' time saying that 7.5 went up in my rating. But as it stands now, Boss Bottled Beyond, it gets a 7.5. I guess I didn't need to tell you that performance aspect of the fragrance really did, you know, let me down. It did leave me feeling a little bit deflated, because if you'd have seen my reaction opening the bottle, opening the box and spraying it on, I was hyped. Yeah, and it does open up beautifully, really, really does. And the opening isn't just a 5-minute experience, you know what I mean? It really, really does smell fantastic. And the whole fragrance throughout its life smells fantastic. It's just its life is short-lived and its projection is a bit intimate. Anyway, guys, that'll do from me today. Thanks very much for tuning in. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button down there. Looks like that. Give it a whack. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure you've subscribed. And if you've already subscribed, make sure you hit that bell notification icon down there so that you can be notified next time I upload some scented nonsense. So until next time, guys, stay safe, keep smelling good, take care, I'll see you again.